Thank you so much for coming back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much again for the subscribing, for the likes, for the commenting on the Thailand vlogs that I've uploaded. So as promised, right, I have my notebook. So we're going to be discussing planning a trip to Thailand today. I did say that I'm going to do a sit down to explain how the planning went, all the costs that were involved in planning the trip, what you need to know, all the tips to survive and make it in Thailand. Well, not survive and make it, but to have a successful trip. And yeah, I'm still figuring out the editing thing, so I don't know how to link the apps that I'm gonna tell you guys about. So I'll try show them and then figure out how to sort of include it as a picture or something. I'll watch a video on YouTube on how to do that. So yeah, first and most importantly, please engage, like, subscribe, ask questions if you have any questions, if anything is unclear. I feel like I'm at work. But anyway, yeah, if anything is unclear, please ask me questions. And I'm thinking about maybe planning trips for people. So if you're interested, you can let me know. And then we'll plan your trip for you. Because I know sometimes people are too scared to make the bookings themselves and right? So we're going to discuss the trip. Let me get my notebook so that I don't forget anything, right? So the first and most important thing is the planning of the trip. So my friends and I had a WhatsApp group. We used it our first trip we went to Mpumalanga ages ago, and then we had spoken about an international trip that we wanted to do together, right? And as usual, like the reason why people make it a big deal that certain trips make it out of the group chat is because sometimes when you are in the group chat, all you guys do is talk and talk and talk and talk, and there's no action, right? So I think we planned it for a year. Yeah, it took us a year to save. And initially we had an account that we used for the Mpumalanga trip, right? So we used the same account. So I think also when I started to realize, oh no, guys, all we're doing here is just talking and no one is doing anything. Yeah, we'll start saving. Yeah, we'll do this and this and this. So, Kajan, I sent 4,000 to the account, and then Carmela proof of payment to the group. And then I think that's when everybody then started like taking it seriously. So, tip again, if you're planning a trip, Linale account, someone needs to start depositing money, and then all the other people will be serious as well. Because if you talk about it, you're never gonna leave. Little about, yeah, we're gonna go, and then it never happens. So I think had I not done that, I think we would still be talking about a trip today. But anyway, yeah, so don't just talk about it. If you speak about it with your friends, create that group. If you're going together, create the account or savings account. Someone needs to start depositing money. If they agree on depositing money every month, then you need to send the proof of payment, and then you encourage other people to also participate, right? So what we did is we saved, I think it was 2,000 every month. Yeah, we sent 2,000 every month, and then whenever you had more or were behind, you would then catch up. But then we had a plan, because I was planning the trip. I said we need to book flights by here, and then this is how much we need to have in the bank. So my friends at least were like fully participating in it. Okay, so the first thing, right, is the most important. Okay, the most important thing is if you're from South Africa. Are my lips dry? The most important thing is if you're South African, you don't need a visa to travel to Thailand. You just need your passport, and then you're good to go, right? So you don't have to worry about a visa. Our currency is a bit stronger than the Thai baht, so which is an even bigger advantage if you want to travel from South Africa going to Thailand, right? So the first thing was flights, right? So we went really three. There was three of my friends, and then we bought our flights. July 2023. That's when we bought the flights, right? Let me just check so that I see what I'm doing. We bought the flights July last year, which is 2023, and the flights cost 34,322 rand, right? So there were 34,322 rand for 3 people, right? So when you divide that each person paid around 11,400 for the flights. So the flights that we got, I used Skyscanner. Let me find it on my phone if I can't link it so that I can show you guys. Skyscanner. Skyscanner. That's what it looks like. Ooh, is it focusing? There we go. Yeah. Comparison of different providers, and then it gives you a view of the cheapest as well. If you want to not spend a lot of money, you can go for the cheapest option. Just a tip on what I've picked up when I was finding flights, or looking for flights rather, for our trip, is that when you search for flights, right, certain flights, for, let me use an example of Kenya Airways, for example, it might be cheaper than Emirates, but then you realize that with the very cheap flights, when you make the booking, you sometimes have a layover of around 24 hours in Kenya, for example. You would have 24 hours. That for me didn't make sense, because I'm like, I'm not paying for accommodation for in a different where you could pay if you want to explore, you could, but then you must remember that if you are, for example, taking a flight, booking via Kenya Airways, I'm just making an example, so the flight is going to be from here to Kenya first before connecting somewhere else to the destination. So in this instance, it's Thailand, right? So you might have a layover of like 24 hours or 14 hours in Kenya. And my thinking was that, okay, yes, it's cheaper than Emirates, but if I'm going to be camping in Kenya for 24 hours, I probably need to get accommodation. I probably need a visa. I don't know if you need a visa. I'm just making an example. You then need a visa. You can't stay at the airport for 24 hours, guys. So that's another thing that you need to take note of when you're searching for the flights. Check for the period year layover, how much. The package that I chose for us, we had a when we were going, we had a connection 2 hours 20 minutes, and when we came back, we had a layover of 5 hours. Initially the plan was to just go and explore Dubai while we wait at the airport, but that didn't happen because we didn't qualify for parking. We didn't qualify for a visa, right? We didn't qualify for a visa because I think it had to be more than 6 hours or something, your layover, for you to qualify. So that means that if we had the visa, we could leave the airport, go see Dubai. And what I liked about the connecting flight is that when you use one airline, for example, we used Emirates, right? So from here to South Africa, not from here to South Africa, from South Africa to Dubai, we didn't have to worry about going to collect your bags and then going to the flight. So they basically move your bags for you, right? Same as coming back. When we had the layover 5 hours, we didn't have to go collect our bags and then camp with our bags. They figured out what to do with the bags, and then they would move them to the connecting flight. The sooner you book your flights, the cheaper it will be. Because when I booked in July, when I was checking around March, April, the flights were around 10,000 for the same trip. So for the 4 trips, the 4 flights, it was around 10,000, but then I think we didn't have enough money then. So yeah, 11,400 per person, and then for the 3 of us, it was 34,000, right? And then now I'm going to move on to accommodation. Accommodation, I used, so Skyscanner, the app that I showed you guys, also has the same, what do I call it? It also has an option for hotels, so you can sort of do a comparison of different hotels, which I love as well. They have Agoda, there's one that I forgot, trip.com, booking.com. So when you are looking for accommodation, you can search, for example, Phuket, and then it will give you an option of different different accommodations that you can find. So depending on what you're looking for, are you looking for a cheaper place, somewhere to just lay your head, or are you looking for something with views? So there's different options for you to choose. And you might find that bookings.com is, for example, charging 7,000 for accommodation, but then Agoda might be charging 5,000. So do a comparison and then see where you can save money, right? So for accommodation, we wanted to have 2 places. So we wanted a cheaper place that is also nice, and then we wanted a fancier hotel. So we split the 2 hotels by the days that we're there. So we did 3 nights in one hotel and then 3 nights in the nicer hotel. So we started to go Kantari Bay, Phuket, right? So very important as well for me personally. When I was booking, I wanted to make sure that we had breakfast included in the package of whatever we are booking for, so that we don't have to worry about breakfast. Then we can stress about lunch and dinner. You know, when you have breakfast, it makes everything so much easier for you when you plan your trip. So take note of that. Make sure that you are filtering to say breakfast needs to be included in the, obviously it might be like 200 or 300 more, but then it makes so much of a difference. It takes a lot of weight off your shoulders as well. So the first hotel was Kantari Bay, Phuket, right? It was 7,000 for 3 nights for 3 people, right? So this means that per person it was around roughly 2,300 for the 3 nights, right? And it was including breakfast as well, which was amazing, right? The breakfast was nice. The booking that we did for Kantari Bay was the garden view room. You guys can go back to my video. I did a room tour of what it looked like. It was not fancy, but it was basic. It was good enough. It was nice. It was garden view room, and then you can specify. So for example, if you are traveling with 4 people, you can request for say 4 single beds. We had 3 double beds. Yeah, I think 3 double beds that we requested for, and then they were like, yes, we'll sort you out. And when we woke up in the morning for activities, we could have breakfast and then go worry about activities, right? So that was 7,000 for 3 nights, 2,300. And I booked using Agoda. Let me show you guys what Agoda looks like. There we go. Focus, 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 focus. Is it focusing? There we go. Agoda. That's what I use to book the flights. Not the flight, the accommodation. Kantari. And remember, you can also use Skyscanner, and then when you're at Skyscanner, it will show you maybe Agoda is charging 7,000, bookings.com is charging 6,000, and then you can from directly Skyscanner navigate to the different website that has a cheaper option, and then you can make your booking from there. I downloaded this because once I made the booking, I wanted to be able to keep track. I wanted to make requests as well for the beds and stuff, so that's why I downloaded the app. And then the second hotel, which was a Vista Hideaway Phuket, it was amazing. I think you guys have seen it on the second part of the vlog. Yeah, Thailand. We paid 11,000 for 3 nights, and we booked it in October 2023, right? What I like about a Vista was that when we booked, there was nothing about a deposit being required, right? But then when we got there, before we were about to check in, they were like, no, there's a deposit of 3,000 baht. No, 6,000. I'm lying, 6,000 baht, which in South African rands is around 3,000 as a deposit in case you break anything, whatever. So we had to pay for that, and then they refunded back to you after between 7 and 14 days after you check out. If I look at the flights, the accommodation, everything costs per person. And again, guys, it's very cheap to book for your own trip. Do the bookings yourself. Don't be lazy. There's TikTok, there's YouTube, Facebook. Literally, there's nowhere where you can't find information. If you for accommodation, the 2 hotels and flights, per person it was around 17,400, right? And then you look at a flight center, for example. Now I'm saying the name. You look at a flight center, for example, where if I check for a package to go to Thailand at the moment, it is 24,000. Like, we'll save up, guy, if you just do it yourself, and then you can use that money for activities. Exactly. So do it yourself. Don't be lazy. And then what I also didn't want, my was like, no, let's use a travel agency. I was like, am I dead? Did I die? Am I not available to do the planning myself? No. I was like, no. And also, I think what made me not want to use a travel agency was the fact that I've seen on people's vlogs on YouTube where they had to camp at an airport for 14 hours. Personally, if I'm booking myself, I wouldn't do that. But then again, from a travel agency point of view, it's cheap if the flights where you have a longer period of layover. Going on to activities. The first important thing was the transfers from the airport. I want to show you the app that I used. I'm so mad that I don't know how to attach pictures. I used Klook for booking some of the activities. Let me just find it. Okay, that's what looks like. Focus. Is it focused? That one? There we go. So this is what I used to book the island hopping as well as the airport transfer, right? Again, another tip, if you are going to Thailand, when you book the transfer for the airport, book it 2 hours from when you land, because the immigration was a nightmare. We spent over 2 hours waiting for them to stamp our passports, take our fingerprints. It was such a tedious process. So the first activity we did was the island hopping. We went to Phi Islands, Kai Islands, Monkey Bay, Maya Bay. What's the other one? Bamboo Island, something like that. There was so much that I couldn't keep track of. So saying we paid 4,470 rand for the different islands that I had mentioned, and it was roughly 1,400 per person. And like I said, they pick you up at your hotel, they provide lunch, they give you water, they give you juice as well. I did mention that lunch is free. What else? And then at the end of the trip you get a Magnum. They gave us Magnum. They gave us fruits as well. So it was such a beautiful experience. Look, I showed you guys the orange app. That's where you will book your what's this, your island hopping. So went to Madhu. We didn't have to pre-book, but for the video with the green, is it the lily pads? I don't know. Yeah, the lily pads thing. You pay for a video, or you can only get photos. I know Bukhabela only did photos, and then Nalamaidi did a video and photos as well. I think you get 2 videos and was it 8 photos? Yeah, and 8 photos. So that is 1,500 baht, which is 792 in rands for the video and the pictures. That's how much we paid, right? Let me take this off because I did tell you about it. Tip for Madhu. Initially the plan was to get there at 9 before 9, so that when they opened we are the first people there. It did not happen. We had delays because we had to pack and move to a different hotel. Make sure that you get there very, 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 it gets so packed, guys. It gets so packed. We got there at 10 and we were only booked for the photo shoot at 12. So we had to wait. If it opens at 9, at 8 you must leave your hotel, get there when they open, because it's a quick thing, right? You're not doing much there. You just want to get the it's basically for content. Shoot your pictures, get your video, bounce. You're in and out, and then you can focus on doing something else instead of getting there when there's already a whole queue of people waiting to get their pictures done. Then we also booked Magic Company, which is Carnival Magic, which I used. Was it Klook? Yeah, you can use Klook as well. But I remember when I checked on Klook, there wasn't any tickets were sold out, so I had to find Attraction something. Used ticket to Attraction. That's what they call it. Let me show you. One ticket to with a 2 Attraction. Yeah, ticket, right? 2 as in 1 2 Attraction. That's what I used to book the thing. This is it. Ticket to Attraction, because the on Klook was sold out for certain days. And the carnival, very important, is on Monday and Wednesday. So on Tuesday it's not there, so make sure that you actually pre-book for this. This has a buffet option. That's what we chose, but we were a bit late for the buffet, and then what they did is they gave us a voucher for us to be able to get food at one of the food places in the carnival. It was 2,700. It was 528 baht, which is essentially 2,700 in South African rands. Each person paid 900 for that activity. So it was 900 for Carnival Magic. It was a beautiful experience. You need to go. So for the elephants, we did elephant riding, and then we did a shower with the elephants. You can feed them, and then you can take pictures. It's in one of my thumbnails where they take you and put you on your bag. Not your bag, put you on their bags, right? So it's called a elephant bareback riding and a shower. It was for like 30 minutes, I think. Yeah, that was 6,600 baht, right? So it's around 1,000 per person. So it's 3,000 South African rand and then 1,000 per person for this. I booked it on Pang Chang Kamala, which is up at the hotel, and then drop you off as well, right? So that activity is done. And my favorite activity is Yona Beach. Oh, Yona, my love, you will forever be famous. Okay, you will always be famous. I will always remember you. I will always love you, and I will come back for you, specifically for you. Go back to Thailand specifically for Yona Beach. Okay. So Yona Beach, guys, you cannot go to Thailand and not go to Yona Beach. For my sake, you cannot. If you go and you don't go to Yona Beach, you didn't go to Thailand, babe. Yona Beach was the highlight of my trip. It was amazing. It was a vibe. I want to do it each and every after 2 weeks or a monthly. I need someone to take that concept and do it in Cape Town. Well, it's not going to be the same, but you know. Yona Beach, I booked on their website, which is Yona Beach. If you search Yona Beach Phuket, you can get in. We booked for Friday, 4, and then we paid. So basically how it works is you have an option to book a place to sit, right? And then, or you could just figure it out when you get there, but then again, you're not gonna have a place to sit because people do pre-bookings. So what I chose is the seabed. Let me find a picture actually. Yona Beach. Yeah, this one is a better. Okay, so this is Yona Beach, Hacker. This is Yona Beach. I booked this. I want the seabed. There's beds there. There's also beds here by the pool, and then there's beds there. Well, they call it something else. And then there's upstairs, and then there's more places to sit. But we were sitting here. The best decision ever, because if you're sitting here, Moki pool, there's a lot of people packed here. People are jumping into the pool. Your things are getting wet. You're getting wet. Don't do it here. Here, there is better seating options. But then you can't lie down, but with the seabeds at least we could lie down. But yeah, anyway, so I booked for the seabed for 3 people, right? And the total of booking for Yona Beach that you pay upfront was 12,000 bahts. In rands, that is 6,000. But don't panic just yet. Do not panic just yet. I'm gonna explain. So you paid 12,000 baht in Thai baht, but when you convert it to South African rands, it's 6,000, right? And then from the 12,000, you get with the package that I chose for the seabed option is from the 12,000 baht, 7,500 goes towards your drinks. You basically get a tag. It's like spending money, where you can buy drinks with that, you can buy food with that, which is great, right? So We paid 6,000 for the three of us. Okay, 6,000 rands for Yona Beach, which is the seabed, right? And 4,000 of that 6,000 goes towards your drinks and food, right? Right? 4,000 goes towards the drinks and food. So 2,000. So basically 2,000 divided by 3 people, whatever that is basically an entrance fee that we had to pay, or maybe the from bed, the seabed or sitting place. So it's, if you ask me, it's very cheap. Please spend 6,000 for activities, right? 6,000 plus 17,000. Lava, now I could book everything yourself. Is this thing focusing? Lava, now I could book everything yourself. So you're telling me that what we would have paid for flight center, which is 24,000, is actually the amount we paid for flights, 2 hotels, and activities. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Plus, why should I change? Okay, well, I didn't calculate the SIM card and all of that. But even so, we are change, right? So obviously, yeah, the total trip, not the entire trip cost that much. The entire trip, the activities, the flights, the accommodation cost around 23,492. If you add things like the SIM card, it still amounts to, let's say, 24,000. Another tip on Thailand, I missed home so much. Well, not missed home in a sense of like I would have rather been at home instead of there. But you know how at home, when you, if I'm going to OR Tambo, for example, there's so many routes that you can take. Go Thailand, it seems like it's just, if there's traffic, you're stuck there for 2 hours or 1 hour. And yeah, sometimes when you're rushing to do an activity, or when we were rushing for dinner, which is why we were late for Carnival Magic as well, because the traffic there is insane, and it seems like you can't take alternative routes. There is running away from traffic, so you would be stuck there. And then what we figured out later on is that Maidi would reserve the Bolt, or there's an app called Grab, firstly, that you can download to book your transport to activities, or you can use Bolt as well. Maidi had Bolt from here, so it was working over there at the location change. And yeah, we picked up later or a reserve. Also the drivers, sometimes I don't know if they're far from wherever you are, they're gonna let it, man. So what I would say is that a tip, reserve your Ubers, or your, not Uber, your Bolt and Grab. So for example, if you have to be in an activity, K2, right, reserve it for 1, for example, but then do the reservation kabuma 10. So, or whenever, when you wake up, plan the day. So if you're going to 3 different activities, reserve the Ubers for that time. Then you know when you're done and you're ready to go, you don't have to stress about requesting and then having to wait for someone for 17 minutes. You can know by the time you are ready to go, Kawan, it will be there already. Then you don't have to worry. So that's the Uber Jarena. What else? Yeah, I already spoke about the money thing. Make sure that you have enough cash, especially for the island hopping. If you want to get snacks in between, or support the locals, or tip the trip people, you need cash for that. So make sure that you always have cash. So I would say withdraw money, and then just make sure that you have enough money to be able to do certain things. Because when we were doing the island hopping, I think a lot of places didn't have the card machine. So oh yes, if you're South African, something else, Katiaka was left at an ATM machine, right? You know, at home, when you when you use an ATM, when you throw cash, but when you put your card in the ATM machine, you withdraw your money, they give you the card first back, right? And then you wait for your money. In Thailand, they give you the money first and then the card comes last. So like, because of how we do things at home, yeah, you might forget. So I left my card and then I had to block it and then had to do a new card when I got home. So that's another thing that you need to remember. Hold on, I remember, when you're doing island hopping, please make sure that you have a power bank. Your power bank, yes, so that you can charge your phone, because your battery will not survive if you want to take content as well of the different islands. It will not survive from 7 till 5. So make sure you have like power bank so that you can charge your phone. Questions, please ask questions in the comments. And thank you so much for watching and subscribing and liking, and I hope you are enjoying the content that I am putting out. And yeah, again, if you have any questions, ask questions. But the apps that I mentioned will save your life, will make things so much easier. Don't be scared to research and plan things yourself. If you are too scared, reach out to me. Reach out to me and I will plan your trip and charge you for it. Well, I won't charge flight center prices, but I will charge for planning the trip. But it was a great experience. I have another trip coming up for my birthday in September, so I'm excited to vlog that for you guys. Yeah, I'm not gonna say yet where we're going, but it's a minute life, so I'm looking forward to that. We have already bought flights. This time around we're going to be flying Qatar Airways. I hope the food is better than your Emirates, because Emirates food, yeah, the only thing I enjoyed was the Kit Kat that we got and the drinks. Everything else, and the bread, there's bread that they give you that, but then again, like, why am I eating bread and juice? Because your meals are just not up to standard. But maybe it's a me problem. But I think my friends as well didn't enjoy the food. Emirates food was horrible. But then again, you're not going for food, you're just going for transport. So I guess they just have to get you from point A to B, and that's it. Yeah, so I'm gonna close this off now. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the love. Thank you for commenting. I enjoy reading you guys' comments and us interacting in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and comment and ask questions and yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.